Niagara Falls is a breathtaking destination. The border between the United States and Canada feels both mysterious and mighty in more ways than one, a true marvel of the world. The falls began forming around 12,000 years ago at the end of the Ice Age, when massive torrents of meltwater drained into the Niagara River. This powerful flow plunged over the edge of the Niagara Escarpment at what is now Lewiston, New York. Over thousands of years, the relentless force of the water eroded the underlying rock layers, gradually pushing the falls upstream to their present location. Seasonal freezing and thawing, ongoing erosion, and occasional rockfalls continued to shape the landscape. Today, preservation efforts help protect the falls, and their water volume is carefully managed through controlled diversion for hydroelectric power. The first people to witness the awe-inspiring power of Niagara Falls were most likely the Native American communities who lived throughout the region. The falls later entered written history when French explorer Father Louis Hennepin documented them in December 1678. In the decades that followed, the area became an important French stronghold, with forts constructed at the mouth of the Niagara River to control access to the Great Lakes. Between 1926 and 1934, one of these historic sites was meticulously restored and is now known as Old Fort Niagara, an 18th-century fortress offering year-round programs, including reenactments and hands-on historical demonstrations. In 1896, Nikola Tesla revolutionized energy production by developing the alternating current system, making it possible to transmit power generated along the Niagara River to homes and businesses far beyond its banks. The Shulkop Power Station, located near the Niagara Gorge, became the first facility to sell electricity as a commercial commodity. Today, power plants on both the American and Canadian sides of the falls generate nearly 5 million kilowatts of electricity. Visitors can explore this legacy at the Niagara Power Vista, where interactive exhibits, hands-on experiments, and a multi-sensory 4D theater immerse guests in the world of science and energy. Many of the region's earliest power plants still stand and have been transformed into museums that showcase Niagara's hydroelectric heritage. Newer facilities now generate and store energy for surrounding towns and cities. While the flow of the falls can be temporarily reduced, this diversion is typically done at night, when fewer visitors are watching. Redirecting water through the power stations allows it to be stored and used later, especially during periods of high demand. Over the years, the sheer danger of the 200-foot drop in water rushing at 32 feet per second has drawn countless daredevils to Niagara Falls. The immense power, over 280 tons of force, was part of what compelled thrill-seekers to attempt death-defying stunts at this iconic natural wonder. On June 30, 1859, French aerialist Jean-François Gravelet Blondin, celebrated as the Great Blondin, began a famous series of tightrope crossings over the Niagara Gorge. With each performance, he pushed the limits of balance and bravery, adding ever more daring stunts. His most legendary feat came when he carried his manager, Harry Colcord, across the gorge on his back, securing his place in Niagara Falls history. Annie Edson Taylor made history on October 24, 1901, her 63rd birthday, when she became the first person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Sealed inside a pickle barrel with only a cork between her and the roaring cascade, Taylor drifted toward the brink and disappeared into the mist. 17 suspenseful minutes later, she was recovered at the base of the falls with only a small cut on her head, surviving one of the most daring stunts ever attempted. As the first man to attempt the plunge, Englishman Bobby Leach followed on July 25, 1911. Enclosed in an 8-foot steel drum, he went over the falls and survived, though he suffered 2 broken kneecaps and a fractured jaw. Later in life, he repeatedly tried to swim through the turbulent Niagara Whirlpool Rapids, only to be rescued each time by famed riverman William Redhill Sr. Hill became renowned for his daring river rescues, and his son, Redhill Jr., would later make his own attempt to journey over the brink. Today, going over the falls in a barrel is strictly prohibited. Yet visitors can still experience the power and majesty of Niagara through attractions like the Maid of the Mist and the Cave of the Winds, once an actual cave before it collapsed, which bring guests astonishingly close to the thunderous force of this extraordinary natural wonder. Like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. All information was reported from A History of Niagara Falls, Formation, Discovery and Daredevils, Niagara Falls, USA.